I remember I once posted a video of me returning my BMW 420i. I was like, I just felt like I'm not remaining with a lot of money at the end of the month. Every person is born with like a financial blueprint. You find yourself behaving in the same patterns that your parents were behaving in. Yes, I am a chartered accountant by profession. That's my qualification, but not my purpose. I said by March 2021, I need to resign from my job.
Just right about now, we are joined by the beautiful lady herself, Midrand. Hi, ma'am.
Hi, how are you?
I'm getting yourself.
I'm lovely. And hi to your listeners.
Definitely, I'm sure they're saying hi back. It's just that they can't say back. So can you please give us a brief background of who are you and where exactly do you come from? I know that you did chartered accountant and then you just decided that, you know what, let's shift from 9 to 5 and start my own.
Okay, so I'm Sharon, and Sharon is an acronym for my names, which is the XI stands for Shitsonzosho, the RE for my other English name, which is Remembrance, and then the N for my maiden surname. So that's where Sharon came in. It's a name I gave myself when I was still in high school. So it makes things easier because people normally struggle with my name. And then so I would consider myself to be a spiritual midwife. Yes, I am a chartered accountant by profession. That's my qualification, but not my purpose. So my purpose is impacting on the lives. That is why I'm doing what I'm doing right now. So I felt like with the profession, it wasn't really allowing me to do that. So I encourage people on social media. I have a YouTube channel that focuses mainly on preaching. But I also, instead of only just focusing on the spiritual aspect, I also want to make things practical. That's where you find that I have Sharon Insights, where I make finances practical for people, because as much as you can say we are praying for you, we are giving you words of encouragement, reading the scriptures, we must be intentional about the relevant aspects or the relevant areas of life, because as much as you might find that even if we can pray for you to lose weight, like you're not gonna lose weight, you have to exercise, you have to cut off some calories. So I make it practical, and also making it practical in terms of relationship, so that people can give birth to their destinies.
I love that. Beautiful. I'm loving the fact that, you know, a lot of people, they always want to pray about, please give me 2 million, forgetting that you also have to find a way to work for that 2 million. And when God also gives it to you, you have to know what exactly you're going to do with that 2 million, instead of just Him giving you that 2 million. And of course, what inspired you to transition from just a traditional 9 to 5 career into content creation and financial education?
Okay, so growing up, I've always wanted to be inspiring people. I always wanted to do my own thing, but I was like, let me just study this just so I have like this great title to my name. I didn't really plan on practicing. But now after you're done and then you land up in corporate and then you are earning this high salary, you feel like, okay, now I can't leave my job. This is nice. I now have a bond. I now have a car. There's no way I'm going to leave. Like, you become comfortable, and then now kids come into the picture like, oh no, I can't go. If I leave, which path is going to give me this salary? But I remember I had come into terms with it. At some point, I got disappointed with doing my own thing, writing books and all that. I was like, okay, let me just settle into this life of corporate and just work my way up and all that. But one day someone recommended I read this book, Think and Grow Rich. They're like, after reading this book, you won't want to be employed. I was like, no ways, I'll still want to be employed. I read the book, and then a couple of days after reading the book, my mindset changed. And then I began writing down, I began watching motivational videos, I began crafting what I want my ideal life to look like, what I want my ideal revenue to look like. And then, yes, I was still continuing with work, but then I even gave myself a deadline that by this particular date, I need to be resigning. But then, and it was 2021, I said by March 2021, I need to resign from my job. But came March, I was like, no, I don't have that business idea that's giving me money right now. I had started a YouTube channel. It was not yet monetized. I was doing blogging, not yet monetized. I was like, there's no way I can quit now. But now, towards the end of March, so the company was going through a restructuring, and then I didn't get my position. I got demoted. And when you get demoted, it means that you can apply for voluntary retrenchment. And
Yes.
God was like, you see, now this is the right time. If you leave now, you're living with something.
Yes.
You're not living empty-handed. So I'm honoring what you wrote the other time, that by this time you need to leave your job.
Yes.
So that's how. And then I applied for voluntary retrenchment, and it got approved. And then I started working on blogging. I started working on social media. I started working on other things, trying out a lot of things. But what became successful for me was more the content creation, mainly the YouTube side of things.
Yes, I'm loving it. Watching also your Instagram and your YouTube, I'm like, okay, but we're gonna get there. And then what was the defining moment that made you say, you know what, this is a path that I want to follow, of course. And of course, you also, there's another question saying, you simplify complex financial topics so well. Why do you think financial education is still such a challenge for many young people? We're all guilty.
Okay, let me hope I don't forget the second part of it, because that's a very important one. So the defining moment for me was after reading that book, and at that time, I had just lost two of my close family members, my father and my brother. I was like, life is too short. Let me do what I want to do now. So for me, that was more of a defining moment, that it's better I live my purpose. And for me, I felt like I'm kind of risk-proof, because I know I still have my savings, investments, my pension fund, and I still have my qualification. If it doesn't work out, then I'll still be able to go back. But I was like, I had a dream growing up, and I'm not servicing this dream. I'm not saving this dream. It's time to go back to it. So that was the defining moment for me. But since I started my YouTube channel with the spiritual aspect, the preaching, but also I was like, I have this qualification, I have the finance knowledge, let me also bring it out to the people. So people didn't know of me because my YouTube channel services mostly the US market.
Yes.
So it's mainly watched by the US population. So I was not really out there. I was like, I don't want to be out there because Instagram makes me to be out there. TikTok makes me to be out there. I was not ready for such, because you go through people knowing you and all that. It's just too much. So I decided I have to do it. It's part of my purpose. If I want to impact on the lives, I really need to be out there and touch as many lives, because I feel like with financial education, it's something that should be started at a young age. It should be part of the curriculum in schools. I don't understand why they not teaching about it, because as much as we do learn how to drive cars, you need a license, you need this, but financial education. And when I was reading this book, Think and Grow Rich, it talks of every person is born with like a financial blueprint. You find yourself behaving in the same patterns that your parents were behaving in. That is why you find that even if people can win the lotto right now, they'll still blow it up. It's like you are used to having a certain amount of money in your bank account. If you are used to only having 1,000, even if you can win 1 million, few months down the line, you'll be back to that level of only managing 1,000 rands. So it needs a shift in the mindset. So it begins with the mindset, and I feel like a lot of people are not ready to change that mindset. So with this Instagram and all that, I'm trying to help people change their mindset, because if they don't change the mindset, it's still going to continue in that way. And sometimes it's not even about how much you are earning, because we know of people who are earning 50,000 rands a month, 100,000, but they are still in the loan sharks. Every single month, they still have to borrow money. But you find that there's someone earning 5,000 rands, they are able to manage it. But after managing it, also think of how do I grow this money. It's not only about having what you have, remaining with what you're remaining with, because you can see things that keep on increasing. VAT is increasing right now. Petrol price increases, food prices increases, rent increases. So it's like you can only cut so much. That's why you also need to find other streams of income. And also jobs are not guaranteed. Like many people have studied, but they are just not getting the jobs. Like I said, I was being demoted. So you need to find other ways of making money. And I feel like these days it's so easy with the digital space. It's just become so easy to make money.
I'm hearing you saying easy, ne? But because of the history of South Africa, where we used to have the MMs and we had the online stokvel, where people were just robbing people when it comes to money. So as much as it's easy, but it's not just easy to trust a new site saying that okay, you can make money, online just like that. So what advice would you give to people? Okay, they want to venture into making more money, finding more ways of streams, finding more income streams of making sure that they also satisfy certain desires that they want.
Okay, so I don't believe in making money overnight. So normally those streams, they are promising you that you'll double your money, and that doesn't work. So in my case, I would say go for things from reputable companies. Like I'm working with the likes of YouTube, Google, that's reputable. Amazon, that is reputable, and the things I'm doing, they don't require any upfront investment. So in that way, when I'm trying it out, I know that I don't lose anything. All I'm investing is my time. So try the things which are reputable. If you know that it has worked for someone, maybe also that. But don't just throw your money around. Do your due diligence before you make that payment. Do your due diligence, because I'm also offering classes on how to make money on YouTube. Yes, I find a lot of people say I've been scammed. How do I know you are legit? And don't just trust because it's there, because someone tomorrow might just decide to steal my content and say, hey, it's Shiren, but it's not Shiren. So you really need to do your due diligence.
I love that. Beautiful, because people and scamming, this is South Africa.
It's their job now. They're scamming how they make their money.
People will be calling you pretending to be policemen, and it's not even a policeman. They just want to try and find ways to make more money, and easy money, easy come. And of course, what are the 3 practical steps anyone with low income can take today to become more financially stable?
Okay, number 1. You need to note down what is it that you are earning. This is how much I get. Don't include your buying power or your credit cards, that I have a credit card of this amount. It means that this is how much I have. No, don't count that. What are you earning? What is your net amount that kicks into your bank?
After deductions.
After deductions. Yes. And then after that, you have to make a list of all your expenses. So it's like you are auditing your finances. Begin with that, auditing your finances, becoming financially aware. How are you spending your money? Write all your current expenses now. If you have a car, a bond, how much are you spending on groceries? How much are you spending on your kids' school fees? All these things, on transport. List every single expense down, and then see that these are my total expenses, and also this is my total income that I'm gaining. So how much am I left with now at the end of the month? And then after that, you realize, are you in a surplus or a shortfall? How much is it that you are remaining with? What is it that you can do? Where do you need maybe to be cutting down on your expenses? I remember I once posted a video of me returning my BMW 420. I was like, I just felt like I'm not remaining with a lot of money at the end of the month. I was like, okay, let me just sell it, so that at least I free up my money. So sometimes you'll have to make such decisions of letting go of a certain lifestyle, just so that at least you can bring your money back on track, so that you can at least have a surplus. And then after doing such an exercise, you also just want to make sure that you are reading. Read on financial things. Read so that it keeps you smart and know what is it that you need to be doing or where you need to be investing. Read on it, because it will change your mindset when it comes to money. And then after that, you also just need to be listing your debts. List all the debts. How much debt do you have? This credit card, how much is it owing? How much is your minimum payment? How much is your interest rate on this particular debt? List all of them, so that you can work on closing them off, starting with maybe the one that's most expensive, maybe where your interest rate is way too high, so that you're not only just paying the minimum balance, because with the minimum balance, it means you'll never finish. You'll be paying, servicing this credit card forever. So find ways, list everything, and give yourself a target that, okay, with the money that I'm making, I want to be closing off on this certain debt. But many people, they speak of make sure that you have an emergency saving. Yes, emergency saving, it has to be equivalent to like 3 months of your expenses, your monthly expenses, 3 to 6 months. But also try to close off those debts. But sometimes it can be difficult. That's where side hustles come in. Find something else that can start making you money so it can be easy to close off those debts quite faster.
Okay, let's just go in an ad break. I have other questions, but if I don't go in this ad break, I might find myself out of here. Okay, she ran. You still good?
I'm still good.
We are learning a lot from you. Definitely. And one of the things that, I was asking the ladies earlier, I was like, what's that one advice you would ask Sharon in terms of like money? And their mistake is that every time there's their salary in, they think of food first or they think of clothes. So what is that one mistake that people make, or the biggest financial mistake people make in their 20s to 30s, and how can they truly avoid it?
So the biggest mistake people make is overcommitting. Like the moment you start working now, you just want to have everything that everyone has, and you are forgetting that it's still your first year of work. You can't catch up to them. Live within your means. We're not all earning the same amount of money. You can't compare yourself with your maybe a tenderpreneur friend who's making a lot from what they are doing, and you want to have what they have, buy the brands that they have. You have to see, this is the salary that I'm getting a month. It means it can only afford A, B, C. It can't reach Z. So live within your means. So I think it's overcommitting, and also sometimes it's not having boundaries with your money. Like you find people, if someone borrows money from them, they don't mind going to the loan, going to get loans on other people's behalf. So you need to be careful. And yes, I understand some people, yes, they are parents took them to school and all these things, and now you succumb to black tax, but work within what you have. Tell them that this is only what I can afford. Don't overextend yourself.
True that. I love that. And also, please tell my grandmother that, because my grandmother sometimes, like, she extends herself to a point. I'm like, relax. Even with her friends, she'll accompany them to go take that loan check, and then when the friend disappears, the loan check knows her. Then they'll come to her, and it's really bad. And how has your personal identity and background shaped the kind of content you create?
Okay, so I'm coming from a Christian family. So, and I remember at some point we were doing like youth day and talent day. So I started by writing like a speech for that youth day. And also I think that's what led me to this point. That's where I got to discover these are my gifts. So also the support that I'll be getting from my parents, it what shaped me, gave me the confidence that, oh, you can actually do those things. You can actually be able to speak in front of people. It doesn't matter what other people think. As long as you are confident in yourself and confident in God, I think that's what has shaped who I am right now. So the background really, really matters.
I love that. So if somebody grows up, mind you, in a background where, we like spending, money spenders, and then how would you advise them in terms of making sure that they do not end up having that blueprint of spending just like their parents?
Okay, so
making
read
greater
books.
choices.
Read books. Read books. Watch content on money. There's a lot of content on money. These days you can't say, I don't have the knowledge, or no one taught me, or my parents didn't teach me. Now you can't blame anyone because the information is out there. It's easily available. So just make sure that you are watching such information, you are consuming such information. And also it's just difficult to make changes. I know the mind is used to a certain way of doing things, and you're like, no, but just train yourself that, okay, when I get my salary, let me start with saving maybe 10% of my salary. Before I do anything else, before I buy those clothes, before I do whatever, let me save at least 10% of my salary, put it in an account that's going to be earning me interest. Don't just only be saving the money or only putting it in okay, no, let me not say this. I wanted to say only the stock fell, but put it somewhere where it's going to be making you money. Like I talk of compound interest, the power of compound interest, because that's where you find that the money that you are putting in is even earning more money. It's like now it's working for you over time. After 20 years, the money that you would have saved has doubled, tripled. While if you didn't do that, the money would have just lost its value.
True. I'm learning. I would like to keep you for the whole hour. I'm being told that we are nearly done. Okay. Can you please, tell us about your classes that you're teaching, so that people, those that are interested into learning from you, what should they do?
Okay, so in my classes, I teach you how to make money online. So I teach you how to make money on YouTube, because YouTube there's a lot of ways of making money. So when people are watching videos, for instance, in my content, when people are watching videos, they see ads that are playing. So maybe in the beginning of the video, you'll see an ad that is playing. And when you're watching that ad, it's making me the revenue. So at the end of the month, I get most of my income from just people watching the ads, those views. And then maybe there'll be people who are giving the money, donating the money, and it also makes it easier for me to sell my digital products to the audience. So that's the skill I'm teaching, because there's a lot of people, yes, they want to go into podcasting, into YouTube. Other people have tried but failed, because YouTube is not easy. It's not easy. It's easy. I feel like TikTok is easy, Instagram is easy, but the YouTube algorithm is just different. So I make it easier for you to understand what you need to do. Come day one of you wanting to start posting, this is what you need to do. And there's no need to buy the fancy equipment. I saw someone commenting that they've bought podcasting equipment.
Yes.
There's no need. You can start with your phone and it makes you money. I'm recording with my phone and it's making me a lot of money every month. So I'm teaching you that, and I'm also teaching you how to make money through Amazon. Not the local Amazon, but Amazon.com as well. So there's endless ways of making money. So my classes, for instance, I have a class tomorrow that's already full. It's a physical class. I host it in Midrand. But I also have online classes for those that can't attend the physical classes as well. I have the online classes. But they can follow my pages for more information on the dates.
And please do tell us which pages, and of course your contact details and the email in case if they want to reach out.
Okay, so they can find me on Instagram. I'm Shiran as in XIRAN, Insights. INSIGHTS. Also on Instagram, I am Shiran Insights. Also on YouTube, I am Shiran Insights. So yes, my WhatsApp number. If they want to inquire about the classes, they can WhatsApp me. But my WhatsApp number.
You can just simply block somebody in case something happens, but you can share it.
But that's only if they want to inquire about the classes. So I normally restrict. Okay, just go onto my social media pages. That's where I'll give them my WhatsApp number.
Okay, definitely.
Yes.
And is there any last words you'd like to share with our listeners?
If there's something you want to do, don't wait for the right time. Don't wait until you feel ready. Just do it. This might just be your year to do amazing things in life. So don't wait, and also just learn as much as you can. Yes, you might be working maybe a 9 to 5. You might be thinking that you are just a student, but there's endless opportunities to make money. Even if you are a student, you can still be making your own money as a student. So don't limit yourself to your environment.
I love that. Beautiful. Thank you so much for joining us, Shiran.
I've
learned a lot. I'd like to keep you here because literally I had like 30 something questions. I'm like, I don't want my manager becoming like a hey Pam, 15 to 30 minutes. Thank you so much.
Thank
Please
you for
enjoy
having
the rest of
me.
your day and for your business to grow in the best way that you want.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Just right about now.